Do you have amazing self-control? Are you more plan-oriented than spontaneous? Do people call you dependable? And do you think things through before acting? Do you hate making mistakes more than the average woman? If so, you should listen up. Those traits are amazing when it comes to getting you through medical school or to the top of the career ladder. But when it comes to getting out of pathological relationships, these traits can actually work against you. Although most people assume that it is dependency that keeps women in abusive relationships, many times it is actually the trait of conscientiousness. So let's talk about conscientious women. According to Sandra Brown, the author of Women Who Love Psychopaths, we are neat, systematic, and deliberate, especially in matters regarding life decisions. We're not highly reactive, but rather think things through before acting, and hate messing up either in our careers, at school, or in our personal lives. We have reputations of good character, work hard, are reliable, and tend towards either perfectionism or workaholism. However, our persistence, a term often associated with conscientiousness, has a dark side. So when we get into a relationship with someone from the dark triad who is either narcissistic, Machiavellian, or psychopathic, persistently trying to make the relationship work creates a recurring cycle of inevitable harm. Conscientious people have a very high level of guilt. That means that we have a conscience and a moral compass and a desire to do the right thing. But that guilt can also be hijacked by someone with nefarious intentions who gaslights us into thinking that we are the problem and need to work harder and harder in order to save the relationship. We often take on an incredible amount of pain in our effort to be more and more perfect instead of saying, this shit is getting weird, I'm out of here. Our lack of impulsivity actually keeps us from running out of situations that are bad for us. In fact, we double down at the exact time that people with low levels of conscientiousness would be sensing danger and hightailing out of there with a flimsy excuse. In addition, if we're led away from our sense of ethics by operant conditioning and low moral character, we feel an excess of guilt. And if the relationship fails, since we tend to place excessively high value on successful outcomes, we can be overcome with shame at our failure. Conscientious women tend to take responsibility for our actions and are resourceful in solving problems, and that's usually a good thing. But when we're with someone with a personality disorder who refuses to take responsibility for anything, we can spin our wheels trying to be better, more resourceful, and find solutions. We follow rules by nature and are easily manipulated by someone telling us, you made a commitment and now you're trying to cut and run? We're high in integrity and are responsive to authority, and often assume that others are playing by the same rules as we are. When they're not, like with members of the dark triad, it can be ruinous for us. Survivors of pathological relationships are often judged for not disengaging sooner because people simply do not understand how our personalities can be hacked. If you have high levels of conscientiousness, you have to be extra careful to make sure that the person you are committing to has the same level of integrity that you have.